How do we answer this type of question? What polynomial has the roots positive and negative 3 and negative 1? So these are the values of our x. One has a value of 3, the other is negative 3, and the other is negative 1. So this is also equal to x plus 3 equals 0. I mean x minus 3. This one is x plus 3 equals 0. And this is x plus 1 equals 0. So we equate all of these polynomials to 0. X minus 3 times x plus 3 times x plus 1. Then we multiply these three polynomials. So for the first two polynomials, x minus 3 times x plus 3, this is as a special product. But by FOIL method, we can do the following. X times x, that's x squared. And the outer terms, x times 3 is 3x. The inner terms, negative 3 times x is negative 3x. Then the last terms, negative 3 times negative 3 is negative 9. And that can be simplified into, this is equal to 0, x squared minus 9. We multiply this to the remaining polynomial, x plus 1. So by FOIL method again, first terms, x squared times x is x cubed. Then the outer terms, that's x squared times 1 is x squared. The inner terms, negative 9 times x is negative 9x. Then the last terms, negative 9 times 1 is negative 9. So which among the choices is our answer? X cubed plus x squared minus 9x minus 9. That's letter C. Next, the equation 6x to the fourth plus x cubed plus 2x squared minus 3 equals 0 has at most blank real roots. The number of real roots can be determined by the degree. When you say degree, that's the highest exponent in the given polynomial. Among the exponents given, we have 4, 3, 2, and then we have none, which is equal to 0. Which among these exponents is the highest? That is 4. So the answer is letter B. One of the roots of the polynomial equation, x cubed minus 2x squared minus 25x plus 50 equals 0 is negative 5. What are the other roots? Among the choices, how do we select them? One of the roots is negative 5. We can either use we know already that's one of the roots. To obtain the other, we can use the synthetic division. How do we use the synthetic division? By writing the coefficients in each term. The first is 1. We have negative 2, then negative 25, then 50. Bring down the first number, bring down 1, multiply it by negative 5. 1 times negative 5 is negative 5. Then we add the 2. Negative 2 plus negative 5 is negative 7. Multiply it to negative 5. Negative 7 times negative 5 is 35. Add negative 25 plus 35, that's 10. Multiply 10 to negative 5, that's negative 50. That gives us a sum of 0. What's the depressed equation here? It's x squared minus 7x plus 10. So as you see, these numbers 1, negative 7, 10 becomes the coefficient here. There's an invisible 1 there, then negative 7x, then plus 10. How do we factor this quadratic trinomial? So simply, the factors are two binomials in which the numbers in here or the terms in here are the factors of 10 having a sum of negative 7. So what are the factors of 10? Two numbers that when you multiply, you'll get a sum. You'll get a product of 10. So that's 5 times 2. Is 5 times 2, when you add 5 and 2, will you get a sum of negative 7? No. How about negative 5 times negative 2? Negative 5 times negative 2 is positive 10. And then if you'll add the 2, negative 5 plus negative 2, that gives us a sum of negative 7. That's what we're looking for. The terms in here are minus 5, and we have minus 2. And your variable x. We're looking for x minus 5 and x minus 2. If you equate them both to 0, x minus 2 equals 0, then x minus 5 equals 0. One value of x is positive 2 and the other is positive 5. So what are the other roots of the polynomial? 2 and 5, and that's letter B. Which of the following is not a root of x plus 5 times x minus 2 times x minus 7 times x plus 1 equals 0? As you see in here, the polynomial is already in factored form. We just simply equate each to 0. When we equate x plus 5 to 0, we'll get a value of negative 5. For the second factor, if we equate x minus 2 to 0, we'll get 2 as one of the roots. Equating x minus 7 to 0, we'll get x equals 7. Then equating x plus 1 to 0, we'll get x equals negative 1. Which among the following is not included? Negative 5 is already there. Negative 2 is not. Negative 1 is a root. 7 is a root. So the one that is not a root is negative 2. Which of the following has a root solution of negative 1? To answer this type of question, we can either use the remainder theorem by substituting negative 1 to x to each of the choices. So for letter A, let's try to substitute negative 1 to x cubed minus 5x plus 6. And then if we'll get a value equal to 0, then it's a root. Or if it's equal to 0, then it's a root. Negative 1 cubed means negative 1 times negative 1 times negative 1, which is negative 1. Negative 5 times negative 1 is positive 5 plus 6. Obviously, we cannot get, or the sum is not equal to 0 because negative 1 plus 5 is 4 plus 6, that's 10. So it's not a root. Letter A, its root is not negative 1. One of its roots is not negative 1. For letter B, let's replace x with negative 1 there. So this is letter B. Negative 1 cubed plus 4 times negative 1 squared plus negative 1 minus 6 equals 0. Negative 1 cubed means negative 1 times negative 1 times negative 1, which is negative 1. Negative 1 squared is negative 1 times negative 1, which is 1. Times 4, that gives us 4. Then plus negative 1 is minus 1 minus 6. Negative 1 plus 4 is 3. Minus 1 is 2 minus 6 is negative 4. So it's not a root of letter B. How about letter C? Let's replace x with negative 1 in letter C. So that would become letter C, negative 1 cubed minus negative 1 squared minus 4 times negative 1 plus 4. Okay, negative 1 cubed is negative 1. Negative 1 squared is 1 times negative. We have a negative sign outside, that's negative 1. Negative 4 times negative 1 is positive 4 plus 4. So we have in here negative 1 minus 1 is negative 2 plus 4 is 2 plus 4 is 6. So obviously, it's not a root, letter C. Okay, we're left with one choice na lang, which is letter D. Let's replace x with negative 1. That would become negative 1 cubed. We're in letter D. Plus negative 1 squared minus 4 times negative 1 minus 4. Negative 1 cubed means negative 1. Negative 1 squared is 1. Negative 4 times negative 1 is 4 minus 4. So obviously, negative 1 plus 1 is 0. 4 minus 4 is 0. That means letter D has as a root or solution of negative 1. That's the answer.